Hello, everyone, and welcome to SpeedGaming, and welcome in to this Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer tournament match between SDiezal and CaioXG002. I'm Ferran Burgundy. We appreciate your patience as I literally just figured out that I was able to somehow make this work. I'm supposed to be working. Shh, don't tell anybody. If you don't tell, I won't, because I want to help bring this action here to you. As we have randomizers coming your way with some unique flag sets here. It's the thing that allows me to make money that I can't do full time to speed. That's what speed run or stream on Twitch. That's what work is there, Sounder fan. Anyway, forts are shuffled in this here, but the stages will remain native to their world. All non-fortress stages are going to be question marks. There's no end card game in this one for extra items. Hammers may or may not break locks. The toad houses, they're going to remain so you can stock up on items that way. You start with some power-ups. The Angry Sun will activate sooner. There is a breakable World 1 rock to help speed things along. Also, certain rocks in Worlds 2, 3, and 4 are gone, and we have randomized hit points for both the Boom Booms as well as the adjusted Bowser and Koopaling hitboxes. So, a lot going on here, to say the least. And then Game 2, which is going to immediately follow this, well, that will be determined based on the results of Game 1. So, we'll have to figure out along the way, and we'll see what is going on here. I do appreciate the kind words. Yes, I do have a great commentary voice. The knowledge of the game, I'll admit, is a little bit shallow, but that's all right. We will wade through these proverbial waters together, and I do appreciate your assistance if I do miss anything along the way or speak something out of turn. Like, oh, this is 5-6. No, it's 5-5, dummy. I've gotten that a time or two. I believe I've stalled about as much as I can here, so hopefully they have been released underway here, because there's only so much vamping that I can do, even as a professional broadcaster. Oh yeah, exactly. It's a way to get chat involved. Oh yes, so the memes and things. What world do we think? Well, I said it too quickly here. It looks like it's going to be 4. Nice of me to give you all of about a quarter of a second to make your guesses. All right, so we're starting off here with the pipe travel, and already a little bit of divergence, but only briefly. Now we're gonna take a look in the Toad House here on Caio's side, and picks up a Tanuki suit. Not too shabby. We see a couple of fortresses here, and oh, that Lakitu usually causing problems. Nice jump there. Is already a divergence in route between the two runners. Ooh, gets hit with the boomerang heading on in. And we also have randomized music. That looks to be a fun thing as well. And by fun, I mean confusing. But thankfully, it's on very low volume for me, so I can't be totally distracted by it. So the gamble here is trying to take the first fortress out of the mix and hope that it's not needed, and perhaps just use the second one to get across to the airship. Meanwhile, juggling spiny shells here over on Caio's side. And if you hear a few moments of silence like that, it means I'm checking over to my work laptop to make sure that I'm not missing anything work-related, because that's what I should be doing instead of this. But what can I say? I take calculated risks. All right, we have Boomerang Brothers over on SDiezal, and takes a death in the process. Meanwhile, Caio working on some Boomerang Bros inside the coin ship, and is able to float over them nicely. The revenge on the boomerang goes a little bit more smoothly, and Diesel picking up a P-Wing out of efforts. And picking up another item, this time it is a mushroom. As SDiezal working with some fading water here. And we do have, that ever so scary jump in 4F2. All right, it's going to take the silver door here and climb on up. Meanwhile, 4F1 currently being worked on by Diesel, so this is our variance and divergence here. We'll see who took the quicker path. Now again, the Boom Boom HP is randomized. We have 3, we have 4, all 5. It is randomized between 1 and 5 HP, that one rolling for 5. So Caio took the silver door in 4F. Oh, well, it looks like 4F2 is the choice here. Ooh, does get enough speed to get up to the pipe there. Does get a hammer suit. But in all of that time, Diesel able to complete and finish 4F2 and now has the bridge built and is going to mosey on to our first airship. And lots of gaps here in the airship. I believe this is the World 7 airship. Oh, and now in order to get around, Caio has to go through all these other stages. So, little order of operation here, but Diesel seemed to have chosen the ideal path and should have an early advantage because of that. Does pick up the wand at about 510. The hero of the Mushroom Kingdom indeed. I didn't forget the line. So picks up a Jugum Cloud from the princess, and now World 2 is vanilla. So again, the stages are going to be native to that world. So we have, we have a chain chomp without a chain, and that takes Diesel out there, as I think that was 2-3. And Caio being very meticulous, understandably so, wanting to keep the hammer suit for as long as possible. Couldn't even let the words come out of my mouth before you commentator curse me, game. Gee, thanks. I put my work aside to do this favor, and this is how you treat me, game? I can look just as much like a donkey easily enough on my own. I don't need your help with that. Now we have some chained chomps here in, oh golly, 2-4, maybe 2-5? I can't remember. Meanwhile, on Caio's side, I believe we had a frog suit picked up and lost as well, and a nice little hop over thanks to the thanks to the bullet bills and a little bit of an animation. Good news is you get 5 extra lives. The not so good news is you take a few seconds lost with the animation. Meanwhile, a 1-up on Diesel's side from completing the 3 tiles, and yep, it's going to have a go with this fire bro here. Takes care of it in quick fashion for a P-Wing. Well, alright, so we have the pipe here, but okay, yeah, it does skip 1 stage, as we now have the World 1 Fortress. Decides not to go vanilla and fly up for the item. I mean, it's not going to be a warp whistle, but could be anything. Nice dodging on the part there of Caio as Diesel takes out the Boom Boom. Ooh, a Jugum Cloud. That's pretty nice as well. Ooh, gets a leaf, loses a leaf, as the way being made here through 2-1. But only briefly. Decides to go with a mushroom here, tries to avoid the proverbial earthquakes. And some high hops here. Is able to take it out. Yeah, you don't want to. You can't use the cloud on the castle to skip ahead to the next world. Even the magic clouds have limits. So wand to wand, it's about a 5-minute advantage here for Diesel, who is now working on Morton Koopa. Loses the, the raccoon tail, but is able to take it out in what looks to be 2 hits and gets the wand at about 10:42. And yes, to answer the question in chat, why is this game sounding different? This is a randomizer of Super Mario Bros. 3. So you'll see enemies shuffled, you'll see world locations shuffled, items shuffled, and a whole bunch more. And one of the options in the that is truly optional in this is having the music randomized as well. And we're starting off World 7 with 7F2. The difference between the versions, well, there are quite a few, but mainly it's the option to make the game as easy or challenging as you like with a bunch of various flag sets. Ooh, Caio trying to get a power-up and taking a death in the process. Meanwhile, Diesel going with the P-Wing strats to try to navigate through some of this mess that is 7F2, the second World 7 Fortress. And an Invincibility Star will indeed help with that. going to say, it doesn't help with the lava, though. Ooh, does take a damage boost here and is just going to go as Small Mario with green hat and shirt. And 4 hits is enough. And now going to go with an invincibility star here into the plant area, trying to avoid those munchers there. Another 5 up for Caio, and an invincibility star at the end of the plant world for SDiezal. Oh, that was unfortunate. Hits the power up. The Para-Koopa in the way there, or Paratroopa, and it ends up floating just underneath Mario's reach. And the Fire Bro creating some problems, was debating going for the clip and tried it once, but is now going to go on in here through 7-1. Although the I was going to say, the P-Wing, pretty good idea, except that whole random enemies thing. You have no idea who's going to be making their way through. Yeah, you have to go through that warp pipe there, Diesel. You can't skip all of them. And now the invincibility train making its way along here as Caio is in the World 1 Fortress. And also opts not to go for the item. I would think it'd be a little bit... Oh, but it probably doesn't take away the lock. I'm just realizing that. This is why I'm the in case of emergency break glass commentator. Because when it comes to knowledge of the game, I'll be honest, there are certain parts of it that I couldn't find my backside with 2 hands and a flashlight on. Yeah, they honestly have me in here just because of my voice. We'll keep it 100 with you, as the kids say. And Ludwig is shaky and quaky here, taking 2 hits, 3 hits. 1, 2, 3 und auf Wiedersehen, Ludwig. My brief audition for SpeedGaming Deutsch. All right, making the way through 2-1 here is Caio. Oh, das ist gut, Dankeschön. And no reward because King of the Koopas. And World 4 is a little chilly. It's Iceland. That's all. I just wanted to be included. That is fair. You could have gone with, oh, big bratwurst, and that would have checked off 2 boxes. vintage wrestling fans as well. And yeah, if you understand that reference, you probably should be following myself and Brysolf. I'll leave it at that. All right, we have a wand pickup here for Caio in the second world and 17 minutes and change in. It may not allow me to type links, but there's the link to my channel if you so choose to give me a follow. And if not, then, I don't know, maybe Diesel Pilot or one of the other fun folks behind the scenes, not to out them, here with the SpeedGaming networks, might be able to oblige and do so. Or if it's already up there, then just go ahead and click the link and give a follow, and you're already good to go. Oh, hey, there's a boss bass. Just deftly avoided by SDiezal. SDiezal, I guess, so I don't confuse it with Diesel Pilot. Invincibility Star helping Caio get through that first part there. It's going to lead this boo along. Easier said than done, this section. But does so nicely as SDiezal just flying on through here is already probably a good world and a quarter ahead. And we have a hammer, so we'll be able to find out if they break locks, if it's just going to be used here to break the... No, I'm not going to use it for the rock here. Oh, first try. Wow. Fantastic pixel jump there, and is able to just go right, go right on through. And I will admit, in my haste of catching things, I missed Boom Boom flying under the stage. And done with a leaf as well. Yeah, there's a lot of talent here, which is why I have barely any business commentating, let alone competing in this. Apparently, it's easier to do that jump as small Mario than large or with the tail or anything of that nature. Frog suit pickup on Caio's side. As we stick with the places in World 6. Over on SDiezal's end. See, I have decent retention of this stuff. It's just the execution that's an issue. And a bit of a debate, but SDiezal's going to go ahead and head on through. This is 3F1. The Let's Make a Deal for It. I was going to say, SDiezal getting a little overzealous. I know door 6 is the one to get to Boom Boom, but was heading to doors 7, 8, and beyond there for a moment. All right, Caio going to go ahead and cloud through one of the levels here, pick up this other one, just gets the star. There goes some wrenches. And the circus has left town. What did you miss? Well, SDiezal is just finishing up the fourth world, which is Ice World. Caio having some struggles, is just about to head to the third airship, this one for World 7. And World 1 in the mix here. Well, the fortress is going to be required as there's no locks, but there is a bridge to build. And we have a one... Oh, I should know this. This is the basic of the levels. 1-5? A little bit of damage taken there. Took off as the flame was still going on, and now gets to deal with the chunky Ludwig. Und Ludwig ist fertig. And Caio moves on to World 4. Oh, looks like we're going to get some bros in chat here. The Upside Down Orb coming thanks to the Invincibility Star. And just like former WWE star Matt Riddle, get out your bros. See, I can do some memeing. Plus, it's wrestling related, so that's, yeah, the orb stuff will never not be funny. That's true. Just try not to overdo it, that's all. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing, so I try to teeter on that balance of it. I was going to say Boom Boom about to cause a bit of problems for Caio, but, well, one-hit wonder. Shoutouts to Vicki Lawrence. I just saw her recently, her two-woman show, Vicki Lawrence and Mama, so that's what made me think of it. She did have a single hit. It was a #1 hit back in 1973, the night the lights went out in Georgia. Little fun fact there. So now both in the ice, but for totally different reasons, as SDiezal picks up a P-Wing before heading on into... Oh, uses the anchor, and we see that it's a frog suit, and immediately decides to burn the frog suit. Meanwhile, we have Boss Bass and other challenges over on Caio's side. Trying to put the game in H. And if you get that reference, then you are a very deeply entrenched Simpsons fan. Put it in H! If not, it's when Homer buys a car in some foreign country and he's being instructed how to drive it, and yeah. Did Caio just slide through the... you know, I don't know. I mean, you're always welcome if it allows it to clip, to try to clip these things, and oh, well... Unfortunately, Caio clipped the gums of Boss Bass and got the revenge. Yeah, I thought it was the tail end of the star. Oh, the Spinies being a little problematic for SDiezal. Meanwhile, Caio gonna... Oh, gosh. I was going to say, that may not be terrible to keep that sprite all the way up there, and yep, that allows for the rest of the board to finish. And that was a lot of ducking, dodging, and diving there. Yeah, we'll have to check the tapes later, exactly. Or the VODs, because checking the tapes implies, you know, tapes are a bygone but still great thing. Wow, that chomp definitely came in like an RKO out of nowhere. And Kyle wants this Fire Flower power-up. But it despawned? Ah. Okay, I was as thrown off by that as... Oh, careful. I don't know if you want to get crunched like that. Oh, meanwhile, we have the Air Force as one of the fortresses here. Ah, the vine is considered a power-up, and there can only be one power-up on screen. Thank you, Dust Minion, for providing the sense to which I cannot make sense of things. And SDiezal unintentionally playing with fire and getting burned there. But is going to give it another go here, past the Fire Snake, the Fire Chomp. Yes, now we indeed know. NBC copyright. Oh, and we had... Yep. SDiezal's going to go ahead and leave that one alone. That, I believe, is 5-9, which is one of the few auto-scrollers in the game that have to remain because of a particular jump that, because of the diagonal auto-scrolling, can't be made if the auto-scroll is removed. So instead, a Jugum Cloud will pass on through, and that shan't be worried about going forward. Yep, plus it's a very slow auto-scroller. And here's 5-3 over on SDiezal's side. And it's going barefoot. It is sans shoes. But that's because it's a randomizer. Oh, but avec Boss Bass. Avec, I believe, is with. I'm not auditioning for SpeedGaming Front Ace. Meanwhile, the beginning of a beautiful friendship over on Caio's side, finishing the 4th world and getting a Tanuki suit for those troubles. As now heading into the airship for World 6 is SDiezal, and this is the World 2 airship. All right, Roy is quaky, but Roy is dispatched. And yes, we definitely aren't in Kansas anymore. And oh, trying to avoid the one Podobo, Gravity and another Podobo takes presence in 6F1 on Caio's side. So here's our 7th world. By process of elimination, it had to be World 3. Another chainless chomp, or unchained chomp. I had to let the idea in my brain pass, otherwise it would have led to entertainingly bad things. Most notably, a parody of Unchained Melody by the, I believe no, not the Righteous Brothers, is it? Yeah, I think it's the Righteous Brothers from back in the 60s, and it wouldn't have gone well. We'll just leave it at that. That's why Weird Al Yankovic does the parodies, and I just commentate. Hey, another Hammer Bro suit. So Caio getting loaded up here for World 8. It might be too little too late, though. Yeah, well, Elvis did a version of a lot of songs. A friend and colleague of mine has hosted the longest-running Elvis tribute radio show in the country. It's been going for like 40 plus years. Shout-outs to Rock and Roncade. All right, a death taken there. A fortress out of the way here. Now, have we seen any hammers attempt to break locks? Yes, we have. And they, in fact, do. Commentator's blessing. All right. Don't you love that? See, this is the thing with society today, the instant gratification. Ask a question, get an immediate answer. And there is wand number 7 for SDiezal, and we'll be heading on to World 8. Yep, guesses for bridges. I usually go with 1 because I feel like a lot more often than not it's 1 bridge. Oh, well, okay. We have a fortress right off the bat here, and it is 5F2. And interesting to hear the Hammer Brothers theme in this particular area as you're hopping on hot feet to that jaunty tune. And now we head into Boom Boom as we have a wand pickup for World 5 on Caio's side. And almost getting me in trouble with my Tecmo Rando Bowl statue reference. Oh yes, the commands as well. You'd think being a longtime voice of the Dragon Warrior randomizer community that would be something that would jump out at me, but it's also something that I've been doing regularly for the better part of 7+ years, so... you tend to go to the new shiny things here. One of those being Tecmo Rando Bowl, which was also made by McGrew. The old Tecmo Super Bowl game that we know from 33 years ago, but all of the player statistics are randomized and all the playbooks are randomized. For those who need a football fix. And look at that, we have 0 bridges. And SDiezal going right on in here, 38 minutes and change. Well, not quite free here. Taking a little bit of damage. Going to try to clip through. Caio, meanwhile, having trouble with the Lakitus. Another tumultuous jump, and we are here in Bowser's room. Just a matter of avoiding Bowser there. Again, the hitboxes are in fact adjusted. Ooh, does take a hit. And gets out of the way, and get out your GGs for SDiezal, who is going to take the first of these 2 games here with an official race time of 40 minutes and 11 seconds. Now again, this is a doubleheader, so this is not the end of our coverage here, as there'll be an augmentation to the flag set partially based on the results of this game. And... okay, so it looks like, yes, based on the results here, so hammers are going to be guaranteed to not break locks in game number 2, because they did in fact break locks in game number 1. Yeah, the statue swag is certainly fun. That is for sure. There we go. Just had to take care of a few occupational duties here, as don't tell anyone I'm supposed to be working right now. But I figured you'd appreciate having somewhat decent commentary as opposed to no commentary. So, sacrifices had to be made. Lost the fire flower just at the very end here, and whoa, Caio, where are you going? Was like Rose and Titanic, just wanted to look at the propellers and almost slipped and fell too far. All right, and that fortress builds the bridge. And gonna get some power-ups, not a terrible plan. So it looks like Caio's gonna be finishing this out here. Understandable. I'll admit, when I tend to race, which has become fewer and further in between in games, just out of spite, I tend to not look at the race room because then I see all the number of people finishing ahead of me and get salty. So that might be what's going on here, is Caio's just, you know what? I'm going to play my game and go with that. I figure better to be salty after I finish than in the midst of it, because then it's just All right, is going to use the hammer to break the lock there, and does so. And there's 5-9, and there's Caio noping understandably out of it. Well, that could also be a thing. Yeah, my minimal familiarity with the tournament thus far has gotten me to realize that. Now, there is the cloud to skip 5-9 here, so finishing this is going to be crucial. But yes, so a forfeit is an automatic 60-minute time, so it would behoove Caio to finish here unless this goes an additional roughly 15 minutes, in which case the forfeit would actually save time. Ooh, nice! Just kind of passed on through. Okay, so at this point it's basically 60 minutes or a finish, whichever comes first. Ooh, had a shell for the first Paragoomba, but not the second one. Yeah, regardless, I do have a hard set time. Once 4 o'clock hits, I turn back into a pumpkin or something and have to definitively go back to work and can't be sneaky around it. So the last few moments of Game 2 may be without commentary, or there may be somebody taking over in my stead, should that occur. I'm glad somebody appreciates my vocabulary with using the word behoove. All that time in broadcasting school, wasn't for nothing. All right, so here's Caio working on Roy and gets quaked and wanded. Was looking for a little piece speed, couldn't get it, and instead got a bullet to the back. There's the invincibility star. And now just has to... Okay, avoids the quake. Whew, gets shot off to the side. Oh, and got hitboxed. So after this, Steph, there are 2 worlds left. World 7, which we know is the water world, World 3, and then World 8 on top of it. All right, as Caio continues here, this time with a P-Wing, I am taking care of something work-related because, full disclosure, I'm supposed to be working right now. So if you can at least, put up the impression that I am working, which I am, because it's not really an impression. Now, if I was doing, say, Groucho Marx, that'd be an impression. If they were, then they would have let me know about being on Twitch long ago. All right, on to World 3. All right, Caio surveying and is going to go for the first board here. Picks up the invincibility star and oh no, 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 no. The fact that the floating down oh goodness. Yeah, whether it's a slow fall or just a quick drop, it neither is desirable. Ooh, just had that last little bit of invincibility star to take out that fire chomp. Yes, keep it cool, especially around hot foot enemies. And Caio perhaps worried about lives, picking up a 5-up, and is okay with the animation here. I can't say that I blame Caio. I'd probably be the same way of, yes, give me all the power-ups. Mushroom House, give me all of your finest power-ups. And your frog suits. And through that level is done. And now on to the Navy Fortress. Oh, and getting cannonballed. Knowing what a pool feels like. Yeah, it's a trap. And no, Seattle music nerd. It's just a lot of people seem to rag on the minimal usefulness of the frog suit compared to other power-ups. I was wincing as I had a feeling that might happen. Oh, goodness. Dodging bombs everywhere. So, yes, I guess it's kind of poking fun at it, but it's still... Wow, a full-on 5-hitter here. And, of course, it's to the lock right next door. But yeah, if the help's there, certainly go ahead and take it. I'd be collecting like Bobby Bonilla on July 1st every year. That's a baseball joke. Utilizes the hammer and is now on to the airship here, and we have a switch in audio. And knocked around by Windy Shell and gets hit with a ring, but does still take Wendy out and is going to be en route to World 8. All right, now heading on into the 5F2, the Fifth World's second fortress, and gets double potabode. That's okay. I should realize that I'm broadcasting to a primarily European crowd. With the New York Mets baseball team back something like 20 some odd years ago, they had worked out a contract that included deferred payments by, I forget who the owner is, but he was involved in all those Ponzi schemes that they went to jail for with Bernie Madoff, or whatever his name is. But anyway, they had this deferred contract where, with interest, Bobby Bonilla, every July 1st, even though he has long since stopped playing professional baseball, he has a contract of $1 million a year, all the way up until 2030 something. Yeah, there we go. He negotiated a settlement, even though he last played in 2001. He is being paid by the Mets $1.19 million every year from 2011 through 2035. So for another, this year included, another, I guess that'd be 12 years. He's getting almost $1.2 million a year thanks to this contract. Well, being a professional baseball player has something to do with it, and even that at this point, the contracts are way more astronomical than they were a quarter century ago. Something else I didn't know is that also from another team, the Baltimore Orioles, he has a similar deferred contract where he's paid $500,000, $500,000 a year by the Baltimore Orioles every year from 2004 to 2028. So he still has another 5 years of that contract to also sit on as well. But that being said, I've gone totally off the rails here, so let's go ahead and bring it back as we have Caio working through World 8. Whoa, no. Hit the bullet bill, got... I was going to juke him through here, and going to take the pipe instead. It is looking for the pipe here, which leads to the other side of that lock. And now trying to decide where to go next, and we are going to see... I believe this is the... No, it's just the regular army. Okay. I was waiting for the super tank part of that. Unfortunately, though, I believe time is up, and... While getting a lot closer, yeah, at this point, the forfeit should be coming in any moment, and we're going to be heading over to the race room for race number 2. And we should have that here for you shortly. Are we going right into it? He asks the producers. In the interim, yeah, a gallant effort to be sure. Okay, and it looks like I'm being assisted or otherwise bailed out, and surprisingly not replaced, as it looks like GamerCal is going to be joining me in here for race number 2.
Hello.
There we go. It was a good way to kind of work you in here, as I didn't know how this was all going on. Yes, an assistant to bail me out from myself.
Oh, you did fine. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I know. Just it's that self-deprecating humor. It's hey, it made David Letterman a career for many decades.
Trust me, I know all about that part as well. Yeah, this has been quite an interesting race to see as well. Caio has improved so much since the first game I've seen of them. I've only managed to catch the second race, I think, of the first one, but they're absolutely fantastic improvement off of that. So definitely something to be proud of here.
Yeah, and hoping and looking for more improvement here in this second race that is going to have a little bit of a tweak to the rules. This time around, all of the fortresses and levels are going to be shuffled, including the beta levels. All the non-fortress stages are still going to be question marks. There's still no end card game. Hammers in this case will not break locks, since we saw that hammers did in fact break locks in game number 1. And everything else looks to be the same as it was in the previous race. Still have the toad houses that stick around. The sun still activates sooner. We didn't see much, if anything, of the angry sun in race number 1. So maybe we'll see something this time around. Also, the breakable World 1 rock still is there. Certain rocks in Worlds 2, 3, and 4 are gone. And we have the random Boom Boom HP, as well as the adjusted Bowser and Kooperling hitboxes.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff going on. As you mentioned, we did see a hammer break a lock in the first seed, so that's the main difference that happens here. Sometimes you don't get to know whether or not they break them or not, and that's where the unknown seed comes in. But since we do have the knowledge this time round, yeah, you're gonna have to use them on World 1 this time. I think that would be the main one that everybody seems to forget at the moment. It is a new thing, to be fair, compared to the vanilla behavior of stuff here. But yeah, make sure that you use it on that place. It's 2 stages that you save with that, so.
Well, it also depends on the availability of the hammers as well. I mean, for all we know, there may be no hammers that appear and it becomes a moot point. Or you could have all the hammers and next thing you know, you're using them in 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 4 is an interesting one to see it used in, because it very rarely comes up with the way the layout happens, but when the stars align and you get to skip, Atlantis or something in that slot, always a good feeling.
Oh, I'm being told, okay. Looks like I have the unenviable task of rolling the seed.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's good. You can't blame me for this one then.
There we go. It would help if I had all the letters and numbers to the flag set. I kind of forgot when I was copying and pasting the last one, and that... I don't know what that would have done, but I don't think that I would have been liked for it.
Before it would be like warp whistles turned on or something, and everyone's just like, what? Where'd that come from?
Yes, flag generation is important. You have to make sure that every letter, number, symbol, or otherwise of the seed is important. So now they are working on getting the flags matched up here. Yes, I'm certainly going to take the blame for it. I'm just announcing it ahead of time. So if it's great, then blame me for a quick race if you like seeing Schadenfreude, and if you want to see things move quickly and don't want to slog and end up getting one, then you can blame me as well. I'm frankly in camp of make this quicker because I really only have another 45 minutes until I have to get back to doing work things.
It's all good. We'll get there.
Yeah, a little different here in the Eastern time zone, being about 3:15 in the afternoon. So it's right in the middle of the workday, and I was able to do some finagling, but I can't finagle forever.
Whereas for me, it is, an hour and 45 before my own race time. So we'll have the fun times coming there too. But for now,
gives you enough chance to kind of commentate this one, get a few minutes to deplete it from your mind and avoid seed bleed, and then go right on in and race accordingly yourself. And I'll probably be watching from the cell phone as I continue work in the process there.
It's always interesting like different people have very different experiences with Seed Bleed and such like that. Like, I remember when I've done a lot with Link to the Past stuff before, it can get very confusing doing like 3 of those in a row or something, because yeah, it really is genuinely, you get lost as to what checks have I done, what item was in which seed sort of bit. Here, personally, I don't find it quite so bad, but I know several people do, where they're just like, do I have a cloud from here? Like, I'm sure I had one. No, that was last seed. Or like, did the hammers break the locks here? I don't know. Yeah, like, I can understand it for sure. Maybe it's just because I focus so much on doing the levels that I don't end up necessarily, I guess, not retaining them is the wrong word, because you always remember the bits that are like the most difficult per se. But yeah, it's very interesting just hearing everybody's different experience with the stuff there. And some people really can't do multiple seeds at a time, otherwise they do get extremely confused between them. And yeah, fascinating stuff.
And to be fair, I mean, you do raise a pretty good, very good point, I should say, that maybe this game doesn't contribute as much to it as, say, a Legend of Zelda randomizer, Link to the Past randomizer, Dragon Warrior randomizer, something that isn't as platformy but is more check-based, more, I don't know, more RPG type. I think those you may tend to have more of a seed bleed because you have to remember more things, whereas this, it's just steeboard, playboard.
Yeah, like even in platformer stuff, like an entrance rando would be pretty spooky to do that way too. But you know, going between levels of every time. So every time you went in the door in World Free Fort, as everybody always wants it to be randomized. But like, imagine if it was you go in one of the doors in World Free Fort and then you end up in 7-1 or something instead, right? That sort of thing would be much more confusing and much more prone to see bleed type stuff here.
Medic! Oh, I perished with the thought. Oh, I feel like this is another. Well, I guess from where you are, it might be more Steptoe and Son than Sanford and Son. But oh, this is the biggest one I ever had. You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey. If nothing else, I'm fairly world traveled. I've now made a reference to a UK show. I've done a little bit of French language, a little bit of German language.
That one.
All right, I have released the runners, so they should be getting things going momentarily. Well, thank you for the compliment on a good Groucho impression. Would you believe it was a decent Groucho impression?
Alright, where are we starting, everyone? There's the usual bit we want to do here, right?
I was going to say, I'm seeing a lot of 4s here. Either they think we're going to Giant Land first, or they're very appreciative of Ric Flair and company in pro wrestling, one or the other.
4 is a pretty neutral ground one to start with, I think, most of the time, because you've always got to do at least one fort because of the bridge at the end, right? But it's typically not too bad of a layout. You've got a lot of hammer bros as well, so you can often get like extra items to go with. Granted, of course, the hammers don't break locks this time, but they're still useful for other worlds as we go forward. So they would still be very helpful, but it's World 7 is where we're starting here. Oh, and two forts
those
at
who
the
are a fan of
start, too.
Reverse World Order, you're going to love it. Ooh.
Neither of them going for the forts immediately. That is fascinating. Okay. Well, you mentioned we didn't have a lot of Angry Sun in the first one. This is one of the more awkward places to start that way. Looks like Diesel's going back and seeing what sort of fort stuff is available. Oh, the optional one. Seems like Caio is making pretty good progress a bit here. Yeah, you gotta be careful with this part because the screen stops scrolling, right? So you just need to make sure that you don't go too fast there, because the Angry Sun will hit you when it's at the top as well. Meanwhile, 2 Parrots very lucky being able to get up to the top here, right? Ooh, P-Wing.
Yeah, getting the P-Wing and... Well, we don't hear anything in the distance.
Yeah, so if you take the item at the top, then it doesn't actually break any locks, which is why we call this the optional fort. Because if the lock wouldn't break, and there would be the sort of thing if it's blocking your progress to the end, like as a mandatory grab, you kind of soft lock the seed, right? Because you can't go back and do the fort again. So there are checks against that within the logic. So that lock might be useful, as it was in the last seed where it broke, it saved the level by doing that. But it also could just be completely in, like, next to a toad house or something, and it doesn't really matter whatsoever, right? So if you ever see that one come up, you know it's not mandatory, and we see the pipe down the bottom actually where that lock is gonna would break. We'll probably see that on Caio's side in a minute. Which, as Jade is saying in the chat, could be useful because that might be a shortcut pipe to the end as opposed to the mandatory path here.
Continuing with the memes, leave it to me to roll an invalid seed as we have 3F2 here in the first world. Maybe it's because I don't think it made an appearance in the previous game, so maybe it just wasn't required, but maybe it was valid for last seed. I don't know.
Need that star. We're seeing the, I guess 5.3/39 beta over here. I'm never quite sure exactly what people want to call this one. It's got traits of both. It's got traits of 4.6 as well, actually, with the invisible blocks in that pipe section at the top. But can be a very nasty level. There's no power-ups in there, and depending on what fish enemies are down the bottom, you can get a lot of lag at the top as well, which can be quite dangerous. I think Diesel got a pretty lucky P-speed jump through, actually, because there was a green fire plant instead of a red one. Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? We see the pipe down the bottom. The lock is not broken on Diesel's side because he did the item part. That pipe that he can't get into now might be the one that goes straight, well, one of the two that goes like straight to the end here. If he's a bit less fortunate with it.
And both of them just making their way through this, living up to its name, the pipe maze here.
Yep. Into 1-4 now. Some crazy P-speed stuff you can do in this stage that I haven't been able to do myself yet. But we see it from like Danny and stuff and folks from here. Absolutely wild what you can do with this game. Oh, the reverse cheap as well. I didn't spot that last time around. It's always so funny just seeing it swim backwards. I've seen a lot of people have some issues with that spiky cheat recently as well. Well, one thing to note with it is it always swims down before it comes back up in its little sine wave pattern. So you can predict where it's going to go at the very least. Meanwhile, 6-7 over here, another one that's usually an auto-scroller. These World 6 auto-scrollers are kind of awkward because they have like vertical components to them, so you're kind of going blind a bit here. You just need to like feel out where the jumps are going. So, it takes a bit of practice to get it done well.
Oh, goodness. So, Dust Minion catching on my gaff in the race room where I had rolled the seed, but had forgotten the last number in the flag set, and in punching it in, was able to get a screenshot of what would have happened if we went with that.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look at that later. Sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm glancing at it now, and I don't know how that would have gone. Well, they might have been happy because hammers would have broken locks. At least I think that, yeah, the check mark means that. There may or may not have been a shuffled endgame.
One fireball away from getting the kill here. Gotta be careful now. Okay, 5 hits too by the looks of it. Quite beefy. And here we're seeing that pipe getting checked actually by Caio now. See if it does. Ah, unfortunate. So Caio's a little bit lost within the maze here, unfortunately. He needs to find the pipe that actually gets to the end here. Children of the Night. Well, he's doing one. Kaio's doing 1-4 now, so clearly must be on like a reasonably right track here because Diesel did do this stage. So hopefully we'll be getting through soon. Oh, this would be the perfect one for a hammer. Oh, not even checking the inventory. Okay. World 7 does give you an item. You just don't get to see what it is because Bowser's doing his taunting, yo, I've got the princess message and whatnot. That item can be a hammer. Diesel might have been able to get through this one without doing any levels. Yeah, it does. It's always worth checking, because it's still just the same as every other world in the randomizer. Meanwhile, yep, 6-7 being done on Caio's side as well, pretty useful. Again, we know this is forward progress, so that is always positive. There's some cool
one
stuff
hit
you
on the
can...
boom boom.
Oh yeah, the Boom Boom randomized HP doesn't usually throw players off at this point, but sometimes with especially the vanilla speedrunner crowd and whatnot, you know, they are so, I guess it's so much muscle memory that gets built up with the stuff here that you can get tripped up very easily with, oh, he's not dead after 3 hits, and I just take a loss of health for no reason, you know.
Yeah, I think we saw that at least once on Caio's side in the first race.
Yeah, I believe so. Angry Sun normally wouldn't have been an issue in this stage, but because of the faster start time, it's actually kind of annoying now. Because optimally, you'll end up over the other side whilst the sun is on the right, and that's exactly where it's going to hit you before it goes back over. Meanwhile, a star picked up on Diesel's side from the Hammer Bro. Despite, you know, not being able to skip the entire world with the hammer check, it's nice that the port down the bottom was the correct one, so he's able just to speed through the world anyway. Different airships for different times here. Not too
Gets the
bad.
fire kill.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of hard to tell with that. I don't think 10 fireballs were hit there. It might have just been a free hit one. But either way, pretty good. Fire kill almost coming out on Caio's side here. There we go. Well done. That's a 5-hit fight there too, right? So definitely a decent enough save with that. As we say, different ships, different couplings, but just about done at the same time here. There's a mushroom pickup, so I believe if we do see the inventory, it would be 2 items, like the third item from the right is what we'd be looking for at the moment, but I don't think we're going to see it just now. He's fully powered up, no real reason to go into it. Do we see it on Caio's side? Do they know? Yeah, you always do the one down the bottom here first, because if this is the correct fort, then you just save the stage. Looks like neither of them checked. Oh, 4F1. I have words for this fort. I don't like this one. A lot of people go down the bottom. He's getting a fantastic P-speed through there, man. I almost wish he didn't commit to it that fully, because I don't know if he was getting through there anyway, but fantastic run.
And gets the invincibility kill on the boom boom.
Yeah. If the only thing he could have done better is just not committed to try and jump straight through, otherwise, you know, great stuff. But still got a mushroom, so completely fine that way. I don't see the tail there. It's always satisfying if you are using P-speed, hit that block, it's a tail, and you just fly over the mast at the top there. It just feels so good. Well, Iggy, only 2 hits. It's not too bad. Very unpredictable one to fight. Used to be an absolute nightmare before the adjusted hitbox. Oh, good use of the Tanuki statue here.
Moving very meticulously.
Yeah, it's good. One, especially when you're just learning, as Caio is at the moment. Fantastic to just be aware of everything going on and being like, I know when is the safest time to move is to go when the sun is descending, because you don't get caught out by doing a jump and then as you're landing the sun comes down. There's no way of avoiding it at that point, so very well played. Going for a Toad House as well, we'll see what this is. The Toad Houses, I believe, are shuffled, as opposed to having entirely random items. They can just have ones from any Toad House. So that could be a guaranteed Tanuki, or it could have been one of the... which one's that? I think it's from World 6, where you can get the Tanuki frog suit or a hammer suit, depending on your luck.
That sounds right.
6 or 7, maybe both, to be honest, is because World 6 is where the hammer suit gets introduced, right? So, alright, let's see where this goes, because the lock is probably still going to have to be broken. Okay, not necessarily. This is one of those ones where it's like you do 2 stages, or you just, you know, you have to go round it here. So we're going to get 1 stage done here, then do the fort. I think it works out about the same, to be honest, and 8-2 is not the sort of stage you want to be seeing with this, though.
Right you are about that. And get out your Dragon Warrior commands in chat for the Tanuki. Or Dragon Quest for the rest of the world. Well and
played
us
on
now,
Diesel
but
side.
pre-2005.
Yeah, Zoom is a good one. Definitely worth going for that. Yeah, I think this works out about the same either way around. You just do the stage and the fort instead of doing 2 stages here. Which, in this case, I think is probably going to work out better on average, because this is a quick fort, right? The super tank. So, Caio's just got to be a little bit careful with the boomerang stuff here. Yep. Be safe using the Tanuki. Very good. Gets a Tanuki back.
Even quicker than the series Super Train. A very, very, very short-lived U.S. television show back in 1979 that almost bankrupted a television network.
Oh dear. Okay. Okay, not going for bottom pipe, which is interesting. Yeah, so this is the other disadvantage of doing things the way... Ooh, gotta be careful. Doing things the way SDiezal did here is you have to go back through the screen transition and then, you know, go down the pipe again with it. If you just committed to doing the levels in the first place, then we would have been, you know, probably better overworld movement, but who knows what those stages would have been, right?
Yeah, if they're 5'9" in Atlantis, it's, did I really want to do that?
Hot take, 5'9" is not as bad as people make it out to be. Yeah, it's decently long, but there are definitely more difficult long stages that come up with it. If anything, it's more of a break than people give it credit for.
Spoken as a true novice of the game, it could be most any stage, and I'd go, I don't know if I like this one.
Fair.
So I'm in no position to either agree or disagree with your hot take.
There's the earthquakes on one.
Yep, salty
4
earthquakes
hits.
and a 4-hitter.
Meanwhile,
oh, yeah, 5, another one. Yeah, that's exactly. Okay, so I'll retract my previous statement and say if those 2 stages were, say, 7-5 in Atlantis, then yes, you would want to reconsider.
Oh, for sure. 7-5 is up there as one of the most dangerous ones. And yeah, good kill for Caio as well there. Did take an unfortunate hit. It's one of the awkward things of like going for the fire kill so much here is that you do leave yourself vulnerable to the standard jump pattern of these guys. And yeah, they're kind of nasty when you don't just like keep stun locking them. So it's fine. It's unfortunate that you end up like losing a hit you probably wouldn't have if you just went for it normally. Meanwhile, regular tanks on World 6, I think it was, for SDiezal here. Always get an item off of this. It is randomized, so we don't know what's going to come out of this. I don't know if we've had a Kingslayer yet, Fireflower or the Hammer Suit, so we'll have to see. Well, that's like half of a Hammer Suit, I suppose. It's the hammer part,
Yeah,
so
the hammer
might be
part of
useful.
the hammer suit, but there is no separate suit. Unless there's a heart, a club, a spade, or a diamond that I'm missing here.
No, I think what we would need if for that is we would need the. It's not just Zelda that could go with the combo rounder, right? With Metroid, we would need to combo rounder with that. Have the various. Ooh, did we just get eaten off of that?
Yes.
Oh dear.
We have Diesel being eaten in the desert in the ice world.
Because that makes logical sense. Yep.
Oh, it absolutely does. I spoke of it as if it was as common as 2 + 2 = 4.
It's always awkward when with just working out what sort of jump height you want to take off of the twister. If you're going for the full jump height there as we did, oh, Caio's going for this as well. Going for the full jump height as we did, it can be a little bit awkward sometimes of just where you're gonna land. And usually, if it's like a Paratrooper or something, there you are just gonna land on it and take a hit. 6F3. Do not like this one either. Got the P-switch being used here. Oh, woohoo! Good save by Caio there. Quick tip for the second room here, always hold full left when you enter the room, because no matter what the enemy set is, you are going to be safe in that left-hand corner, so you don't get hit on the way down either. So just little heads up for anyone who is getting stuck on that room. Caio's going for the star, wants the extra lives here. Again, makes complete sense in their position right now. Especially starting out, you want to make sure that you don't end up getting game over locked and everything here. Having to redo a world is a devastating position to be in. And here we go.
Well, I spoke of 5-9, and it looks like it's being played through here, so let's see how much of a break it in fact is.
Okay, another tip for this one is because of the fact that the fire chomps can come up and like despawn the platforms and stuff. If you sit like the one he's coming up on now, if you sit on the left-hand side of this, you can make it so that this guy you can actually like jump on in between these two platforms. Make it so that you can kill him before he gets any sort of ideas. And the same for the one who was just on there as well. If you hold left there, there's another fire chomp that can spawn. You can get it so that it will move up into you on the platform just after it without hitting you with fire, and you just knock it out before it even gets a chance to despawn the platforms.
Okay, that didn't look as bad as most people claim it
No,
to be.
it's not. It just takes about like 50 seconds or something to do, which is on the longer side on average for levels here.
Well, on average, maybe for me, and it would be a blessing. 50 seconds.
Ooh, good kill with the shell there. 5-1. This jump is always scary in 5-1 because the enemies can be literally anything. Gotta watch for where we're going here. Boss Bass is not too dangerous on this stage most of the time. There's 1 or 2 sections that can be awkward, and Diesel's out of this world already. Nice. There's a power-up in that box in the middle there as well if you hit it on the side, but doesn't need it here. Good. I don't think Diesel's going to be too happy about seeing the leaf there. You can't really do the P-speed strats he did in game 1 with this here, so it's like you get P-speed, you duck under the mass bit there, and then you just take it to the rest of the stage. But because of the way the tail works, you just can't do it with that. So, oh yeah, the optional section from for World 2. You don't tend to see this too often, but can be kind of neat. It's where the warp whistle would usually be. This is looking a bit spooky. That's 4. It's a 5-hit fight. Okay, good job.
Yep, a little bit of ball juggling, but able to take care of the boss there and head on to World 6.
Meanwhile, Caio just about to take on the what is the World 6 airship. If you come into this one with a tail, you can do a flight pan to get over the top of this bit. It is a little bit quicker. You don't have to wait for the stuff down the bottom. But it is a little awkward to set up when you're not used to the stuff there. Probably just isn't a strat that Caio's aware of right now. Again, this tournament is for all players of all skill levels. We've had people who have never even played the rando before coming into the stuff here, and we've obviously got people who have done every single tournament pretty much coming in as well. It's for all skill levels, and doing a fantastic job with it here as well. Now, I'm not entirely sure of the precision of the wall jump. I don't know. Somebody's going to correct me in chat, hopefully. I think it's sub-pixel perfect if you're large with that. I know it's doable, but it is incredibly precise to do it, right?
Well, we saw Diesel did it in the first
Yeah.
in the first race.
I have never seen it done with the tail. That was absolutely absurd. I believe what you're trying to do is the typical thing of old school Mario, where it's like there's a 1/16 like pixel thingy for the block, where you actually are like on ground for a frame first, and you can jump from that frame, and that's what you're trying. Oh, the waterfall stage. I do not like this one just because it's so awkward to do, but it is enemy free. There is a power up in those 3 boxes there too if you want it, and it's just a swim to the top sort of thing. But the momentum based swimming in this game does not like me, so I don't like that stage. So the sky is the triple forter. Okay. Oh no, Caio taking the death near the end of the regular tanks. Oh, that's awkward. 5F1's another one that's a tricky one to do well. I see, like, the vanilla runners have got a huge advantage, I think, here with just how quickly they can do the P-speed stuff on this one. That's usually what happens to me as well. Yep, and that is also usually what happens to me if I try and go fast with it. Unfortunate.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Caio, be careful. Yeah, this is the thing. If you try and go too fast within this one, especially the randomized patterns of the waffles. For anyone who doesn't know, these roto discs actually do rotate in different directions, and it is random for each seed. So you're not always going to end up getting a favorable pattern for it, and yeah, it just gets really awkward. Good clear this time, though.
Man, I haven't seen awful waffles like that since Salute Your Shorts.
So I completely missed actually that there was a hammer out of the regular tank stage as well. I only saw the one that was from the Hammer Bros. So we've already done oh dear, we've already done basically all of the worlds except for World 3, which could even use them in the first place. So it might be a bit tricky to actually get some benefit from them anymore, but we'll see. Oh,
Wow.
taking a hit here. Gotta be careful. Yep.
Oh, there it is. Meanwhile, Caio doing a good job of getting out of that tornado with that boss bash just kind of hovering, going.
Yeah. Oh.
And out there.
Okay, if we get another anchor, that's a fire flower. That could be useful for the end. So one weird thing, there's like funny thing with the coin chip thing, right? If you do die on the coin chip, then the enemy reverts to just being a Haribo again. You just have a regular fight with that, so kind of weird. I guess it's to prevent like farming of lives and whatnot. Is probably why they did it originally. Oh, micro Goombas in the Oasis are so annoying as well. Like you've got to jump out of the water, otherwise you're gonna take a hit from them. Meanwhile, 6F3 being done here. Just got to be careful. It is possible to jump over. There's a few ways of handling that form. You can get it to fall and then jump over it. Or if you're in P-speed, you can actually just like jump under it. Here's another beta stage. I think this is supposed to be like 3-4 sort of stage. Because it's got the 7-3 kind of works as well. It has the weird spiny egg sort of one here, the green lag too. It's possible to speed through this one, but it's pretty awkward in places. There's a couple of death pits in the middle that you've got to be careful of, so... And then, oh, more fish! In Mr. Fish we trust. Oh, 6-6 on Kaio's end. Where's this from? Because I don't think we saw Diesel play this stage.
I think that was the choice between Vanilla 6-9 and 6-10.
Oh, that's unfortunate then, yeah. This is a prime candidate for Cloud territory if you have one, because this is one of the hardest stages to do randomized. There are so many underwater enemies here, and if it's one of these, that's gonna happen all the time. Yep, this is not a good position to be in. Sometimes, oh no. Lots of hits being taken all over here. This last section is also really rough in here with a Piranha Alley coming in and underwater. Luckily this time it looks okay. One of them's despawned, just be careful. Good stuff. Alright, it's not over yet though, as Diesel takes care of the, well, being in well 4 shit very easily there. Just gotta be careful of the remaining enemies and don't just run straight off this because that can be a boss bass. Very, very sad if you just immediately die to that after the ordeal you've just been through. Well done, Caio, by the way. I think that was first try getting through that, wasn't it? So, fantastic stuff.
Yeah, there were a few stressful moments. The pulse definitely went up a bit.
Oh, 7-1. Alright. How many tries do we take? That could have been it. You see how he slowed down? It got slowed down there a bit. This sub-pixel alignment didn't thing up. I think that could have been it as well. Meanwhile, the hammer getting picked up on Caio's side. So this is much more precise with the tail. He gives up in the end with the stuff. I don't blame him. This is a lot more precise with the tail than without it. Again, I think there's like a 0 to 15 sort of value for your sub-pixels. Only 2 of them work as to whether you're going to get the clip or not. Whereas normally, oh, he's going to take a hit for this. He might, maybe he's taking an intentional death here actually, because the iframes run out during the pipe. Yeah, he's taking an intentional death with it. Probably looking to like cloud this one, or use a mushroom or something instead. Guess if we don't have a cloud, you're going to have to use one of the hammer suits if you want to make this easier. Yeah, there's, I think 7 of your sub-pixel values work with a regular
power. Took 10 tries before, we're up to 2 here.
Still very difficult, no matter what you do. Caio managing to get the Fire Flower hit on the chomp there. There we go.
8th try.
That's probably still better than doing that stage on average, to be honest. It is so nasty sometimes. Even you can't even be free from it from when you're at the top either, because there's 3 enemies at that top section that can also just decimate you.
That's a fun little lock over in the corner there, just blocking the Toad House.
Yeah. Meanwhile, 5-1 and 4-2. Oh, with the fish and sun combo.
Oh gosh, Boss Bass and Angry Sun.
Yep. 4-2 is the one stage where for some reason, I don't actually know why, but for some reason 2 of these things can spawn, and you can get the legendary double Boss Bass on this one. It doesn't really do much in that stage, to be fair, because it's not one that you're often at water level for, but it's still, yeah, it's the only stage it can happen in. Oh, missing a jump in there. This is going to be spooky. Yep.
Oh, there's the hit.
And there's another one. They just keep jumping. Oh, no. Yeah, as soon as you miss the rhythm on this one, this fight ends up being disastrous. See, luckily getting through, but that was very rough. Another hammer, ironically, in the spot where we can't really use it anymore. You would have needed to have used it straight away, right? In the start of this one, it wouldn't have saved much anyway. Very pipe heavy. Oh, God. I hate power goombas in this stage so much. Like, to be fair, you hate them in most stages. Oh no!
And pretty much all oh goodness.
No, Kaio.
Just a little short on the jump in the airship.
That World 7 airship can be very off-putting for anyone. I mean, it's difficult in regular game stuff as well, or the burner taking them out as well. It's difficult normally as well, but it can be very off-putting for anyone who's only played the vanilla game. Losing the auto-scroller on this one in particular is, for some reason, just like really difficult to compensate for when you're starting out.
Probably because you're used to timing with certain jumps based on the auto scroll, and with it not there, it just throws off your rhythm.
Yep, it's the same with Air Force as well. That one being a particularly fast auto scroller as well. It can be dangerous. Diesel's getting really close to the top there. I believe that lava can kill you. Or is that only in the All Stars version? I don't remember. Also, sometimes the screws actually do, not that you want to trust them much anyway, but the screws actually do despawn if the rocky wrenches throw stuff around as well, so you do take damage here as well, thank you. It has been a while since I've been up that sort of height, so... Oh, what did that might not last. One of the, yeah, it builds itself up, the juggling board does eventually come out of the thing there. Another hammer, of course, in the one that doesn't break the stuff. Slight thing that Diesel should have done with a bit there is grab the power-up after grabbing the box, because the power-up animation, you know, the stall timer that happens with it, doesn't actually come into play when the item's already been picked up. And it's like, you know, there's a set amount of time before the screen transition happens. Yeah, doesn't actually factor in the getting a power-up, so you actually save a little bit of time there. Just in music box off of the stage itself, not the greatest. So we know the pipe that we need to go into is that one at the bottom, it's just which of the forks makes the bridge that gets there. Meanwhile, 1-6 coming on in. That's got to be a bit of an intimidating looking start in that World 5, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Seeing the pair of fortresses there, and just, oh, and then this, of course, on top of it.
Mm-hmm. That fire chop at the end is so sneaky. Like, it shouldn't matter if you're doing the P-speed grab of the end card, but the fact of it's the same color as the background, right? Until you see the tail move.
All right, here comes 3F1 on Diesel's side.
Oh, that's how you're supposed to get up there. I mean, it unfortunately covered at the cost of Kara's life, but I actually completely forgot how you're supposed to get up to that P-switch in the first place in 6-9. Oh dear. Yep, Diesel not overshooting the door 6 this time, right? So he got lucky enough with it too. I'm pretty sure. Did he even do the other fort or in this world, or did I just miss that?
It's very possible it was Look at all the hammers.
Yeah.
I did say in the beginning that, yeah, because hammers don't break locks now, of course they're going to get all the hammers.
Yep. There weren't really too many situations they could have used them, and I think he only had one hammer coming into this world, so there wasn't any chance of using the double hammer that, you know, you would actually want to here. Ooh. Okay, luckily it was only a free hitter. Being a little bit awkward with that. Yeah, so... Oh, Kaio, where are we going? Pipes at the top. I was going to say, clever use of the P-switch, though, actually, turning the munches into coins so that you didn't get hit by them there again.
One of those seldom seen strats, and when you see it, you go, oh, yeah.
Apparently, you can use the tail and hit them on the side and turn them into coin blocks too, but there's only like one place that's like applicable, which is the Star Run stage.
And even then, I'm usually too busy running to worry about doing something like that.
Yeah, it's at the very start. There's one that you can stand on the side of the first pipe and hit from there. Meanwhile, just taking a look around here, seeing what we can find. Usually, it's a good idea to do the forts that you see in this opening section, but it depends how many pipes are there. Sometimes you want to just take a preemptive look first. 6F1, another sort of frustrating stage to do here. That power-up at the start is really annoying to pick up, but also going in here without any power-ups is dangerous. As I mentioned before, the roller discs are random in what rotation they go around, so sometimes you will end up having some very tricky situations dropping off the platform there. Ooh, Fireflower's a good pickup here, though.
Not quite the invincibility star from last race, but pretty good nonetheless. 5 fireballs, and that takes out Boom Boom.
Yep. There technically is a way, I think, of getting that Fireflower, but good luck. It's best just to leave that one in 5F1. Caio's taking his time here. Definitely a good idea. There's a lock in an unusable place, I would say, and in here, but it's good that the fort we've already done didn't break that lock, so maybe he opened a bridge at the end?
No, that's what SDiezal's looking for here.
Yeah, just go. Oh, that
or
is
instead
not
that
a
pipe
fun
just
hand.
to the other side of the hand bridge.
Yeah, that is not a fun hand bridge if you had to go across that. There's the lock that we saw, I think, before. Okay, so do we have to do levels here, game? It's seeming like it. I think I understand. If he's going for the handbridge one, yeah, I kind of get this because there's at least one fort. Unfortunately, this is the level tank rather than the fort tank, but there's at least one fort along here, so that could also be necessary anyway. While a coin chip on Caio's side. Again, good use of the statue in order to make sure that you're not going to get hit by the boomerang on the way through there. Yeah, that's typically what, like, maybe I doomsay it. Oh god, speaking of doomsaying, maybe I doomsay stuff too much sometimes, but that's typically what I would think as well. Is like, you know, that fort is going to be necessary just because it's over like 2 levels away and whatnot. Alright, Piranha. Oh, good fireball hit there too. That was going to be a damage otherwise. Ooh, Boss Bass coming on.
That made up for it now. Here's Boss Bass.
Okay. Oh, going for it too. I do appreciate this. It is technically faster because that pipe right there on the left is the one you come out of. So it is faster if you can go overworld. But that's spooky. Well played. We see the beta stage coming in for Caio here as well. There is a power-up in that box, so this could be worth, yep, getting there. I think there's a couple of power-ups in this stage, actually. For a beta stage, it's surprisingly generous. Knocking out the spiny.
Probably why it was the beta stage. They had to go and make it Nintendo hard, and they removed the stuff from it. It's like, oh, this is too easy. We can't use this.
Meanwhile, 8 Fort coming on in as well. Not gonna get the 1 cycle here, but that's fine. Yeah, one thing with that beta stage, actually, that little block that's in the middle of the...
And on that note, it is 1 minute to the hour here. I unfortunately have to return to work, so I'm going to leave you chat in the capable vocal cords of GamerCal here to finish off the rest of the race. And thank you so much for tuning in here. And I'm sure next time there's an emergency where glass needs to be broken, I'll be back. I'm Ferran Burgundy. Thank you for tuning in. Stick around. GamerCal has the rest of the race for you.
Thank you for joining me, being here with it. Oh, good stuff. I don't know how that shell didn't kill the Boss Bass, by the way. I spotted that going through. Oh, awkward death in 3-6 there. Yeah, I don't know how the Boss Bass didn't die with that. Caio is getting through pretty well here, though. Yeah, just just to quickly go back, I know it's a while ago now, but the beta stage bit, there's the valley at the end with the one block in the middle. That block is a vine. There are coins up there. It is actually kind of fascinating sometimes seeing what weird bits are in these beta stages. There's one we haven't seen today that's like full of platform stuff. There's a whole sky section too that you just never get to see. Caio getting through the airship very well. We do see the clear of 3-6 as well, but Boss Bass did not get fed at the end. It's a very ineffectual Boss Bass, to be fair. 7F2 coming on in here. Oh. Dangerous. Fireflower makes it a lot better, though. One thing to be careful of there is just what type of plant that is. If it's the fire spitter, you can end up getting yourself messed up a bit. Oh. Well, good job we had fire, because otherwise that would probably be a hit take. Very nice dodge there. And now we see 7-1 on Caio's side, just going to go straight through. I believe at Caio's level of experience, the clip is probably not even a factor at this point, which is totally fair. Oh, taking a couple of hits at the end, unfortunately. But just close out the Boom Boom fight and you'll be totally fine. It's a single hit, that's all we need to see. Yep. Caio, meanwhile, making his way through. Doesn't have to worry. I didn't even know there was a 1-up there, I'll be honest with you. The hidden 1-up blocks don't get randomized. I think they're either not... Oh, wow, we're straight through. Nice. We have 1 power-up for this. Make it count, Diesel. So we're going to see a clip attempt here, maybe? Yep. If you do make that clip, face left, because if there's a boo on that candle down the bottom, then it will chase you if you don't. Just again, a little heads up, a lot of people seem to miss that. That's a really smart jump from Caio there. That enemy at the top can just completely surprise you when you have to jump. Oh, gotta be careful to just close this out though. Oh no! No! Diesel getting the clip at the top is a fantastic pickup as well. Does technically lose time if the stuff is ideal, but like it usually isn't, so this is a perfectly good time save for Rando. And now we just have to hammer the bells. We do not go underneath him anymore because the hitbox is fixed, so we can't just run under like you do in vanilla and hit him from below. So fantastic time there for Diesel, just finishing on up here. Finishing in with what I believe is a 43-11. Well played. Do the switchovers. Yeah, GG's for sure. Caio's still doing very well though. In World 7, absolutely crushing it here as well. Very good improvement to see here from, like we've all said before, like seeing the difference between the first seed that was played and what has been played, you know, today. Absolutely wonderful. You love to see it. Aha, good luck to you as well, Angelic Jade. Our way somewhat neatly through. It's a little bit awkward just seeing the good P-speed jump there as well, by the way. For anyone who doesn't know, the regular like Super Mario, if you're with a star and you just jump at a pipe, because of the spinning animation, you actually can't go up pipes. So in order to get up a pipe when you're invincible, you have to be in P-speed. So very good pickup there. If he missed that jump up, then he would have had to wait until the star runs out. Oh, gotta be careful. Yep. So it's a patience thing when it comes to the Sledge Bros. Like, it can be annoying when they don't jump, but you really want to make sure that you wait until the actual first jump from the bottom one happens before you try and assail that fight. Like, you've got to make sure that they're not on the ground, basically. Because if you get earthquakes like that, it's going to be painful. 6-2 coming up over here as well. Oh, gotta make sure you get up there quickly. Oh, I don't think you can go anywhere from there. That is very unfortunate. Yep, there is nowhere to go from there. That is the part where the auto-scroller usually goes up, so you would have died long before that bit was even visible. So, yeah, a bit of a shame there. So we do just have our flyover strats coming in with this one now. Totally reasonable. This stage is disorienting for people who haven't played this before. Again, like 6-7, this is because the auto-scroller goes up and down and all around. It kind of doesn't give you very much visibility when you're going down. Like that is a almost completely blind bit. If you land on the cloud, you can just about see the bottom like ice tail stuff that you are like supposed to jump on. But yeah, Diesel. Caio is absolutely crushing this. It's been fantastic to watch difference here. So we're seeing just how the end of this world looks. We do need to go do that fort. Almost made it up the top. Yeah, unfortunate that the hammer placements really didn't do much within this one, but that is completely fine. Just got a few stages to do. The cheap one here. I am like really bad at this stage for some reason. There's a couple of different ways of doing P-speed strats here. Most of what I try and do is like get a P-speed jump off the power-up block there, but I don't know. I'm like inconsistent with this for no reason whatsoever. It's 100% consistent as a stage. I'm just bad at it, you know? Which is completely fine. Caio makes it through without taking the lava bath, however, which is as much as you can ask for sometimes out of that one. Doesn't really matter which of these stages you do, you just gotta do one of them, so it's probably best to do the... Oh, unfortunate. Yeah, wanting to go for the power-up, and maybe one thing, because of... So this stage, because of the moving platform, always has to have this enemy subset in there. One of the things you can do to mitigate what happened to Caio there is if you first land on the block, the power-up block first, and then that gives you time to scout what the enemy is down the bottom. Still going for P-speed strats, you can't really do that in Mando. It's like, the enemy that you bounce on is not usually there. Yeah, so like you can wait, or you can jump to the block, and if it's like the fire snake or something like it is here, you can evaluate whether or not you actually want to do that. Yeah, I mean, as you say, Dust, you definitely want to play this one because it unlocks 2 pathways, and you need to do this anyway. But, yeah, if you try and do the one at the top, you're going to have to do this stage regardless. But even if that wasn't the case, getting a bit hitboxed at the top there. Oh, no! That's unfortunate. I think the instinct is to to jump from below to get to the thing, right? To get to the end card. Whereas what really needed to happen there is to go to the top. Yeah, 1-6 is an awkward stage. It's definitely like one of the trickier World 1 stages to do. Even knowing that this enemy set has to happen every time, it is still tough. Thankfully with the tail... Oh no! No, Caio! You can respawn the platform, right? By the tail has been a godsend here. Well played for getting back. Now we just need to make sure we land this. Yep. And no hitbox shenanigans this time because we have had P-speed, therefore the screen scroll is enabled. So, really well recovered there for sure. a very underrated part of the SMB3 Rando, because you always see with like the top, so many of the top runs and stuff, right? You always think, oh, it's just like doing P-speed strats and then everything runs the same every time of it. A very underrated part of the Rando stuff is the improv and recovery section of this as well. There are times where things aren't going to go the way you expect them to, and you really need to just, like, adapt on the fly to what's happening. Like this Boom Boom running at Mach 12, right? You've got to be adaptable with this stuff here, and sometimes these creative solutions, we'll say, are it's very cool to see, like, just what is even possible. I don't know, I'm pretty sure you'd at least try it, but I don't know if I'd have actually, like, immediately thought, I can float back to the previous bit. Like, respawn the platform, sure, but... So, if you're using a tail, you can actually just, like, jump off the Bill Blaster and land at the top there. Is a pretty good way of doing that. If you're not using a tail, I do see some people, like, jumping up there anyway, but I think if you're not using a tail, it's probably faster to just build P-speed down the bottom, but maybe that's just me. I'm sure somebody can correct me that way, because my strats are probably a little outdated compared to, you know, the modern super runners, but great time coming through the stuff here, though. We've only got the one world left to try and do. Plenty of options for power-ups and stuff here as well, I think, so doing well. So we just need to see where we are going within this this little maze section here. I didn't really catch, because I was too busy looking between the two bits at the time, I didn't really catch exactly what forts and such we need to do here. So I guess I'll be exploring this as we go as well. I saw Caio actually practicing this one just before the race started too. This fort really is very difficult to do well. It's satisfying being able to do like a damage boost P-speed strat there, but it is still really awkward. And the random rotation, this is honestly, this and I think 6F3 for me, is where the random rotation of the rotor disc sting the most. Because it really does make it very annoying if you are not doing like the P-speed strat to get through there. Like to get through unscathed. Ooh, good duck there. Just managing to catch that right. Getting the fire flower anyway is always good. Yeah, you'll see all sorts of different power-up grabbing strats in that room. I like just grabbing the third one and just seeing what we get from there, because usually when I'm doing this stage I'll have a mushroom going into that room because of the damage boost, like P-speed run stuff. But if that fort comes up first, then maybe you do have to grab more power-ups. Right, so yeah, we established this lock didn't, this door pipe wave stuff didn't do much. One of those words is going to be right. So now we just need to see where do we actually need to go within this. We had to do at least one or two of the stages, right? I think it was on this left-hand side is where we needed to go, because there's the second lock. And so there was one bridge that needed to be made. Which I don't know if we don't know if it's already made or not. It's just a case of finding where we're going for it. See where this takes us. Well, I mean, we already know it's 7-3 into a stage. I forget what the stage is, but I know obviously the fort on the other side is something that we do need to clear. Probably. Yeah, certain enemies you can slide kill, some you can't, and it's just annoying sometimes remembering which you can and can't kill. It's one of the reasons you should never slide in 1-5 in Rando at the start of the thing. Oh, that's not a necessary thing to go back for. This is I think this is one thing people that come in from the vanilla game will need to like commit to memory, is which places do you need to like what optional stuff is worth doing, and which bits are just there for like extra coins or something that are end up more trouble than they're worth, right? Like for here, even grabbing this power-up is really annoying to do and generally not worth it because it's just so much more awkward to get than, you know, you would want. And it doesn't even necessarily save you from the Lakitu here, even if you do knock him out, because he'll just come back. So I kind of would refer to almost like a flow state sort of thing. Like platformers in general, especially in speedrun conditions, do go for this a lot. Oh right, this was Prana, right. Yeah, platformers in general have a lot of this sort of flow state thing going for them, where like the best platformers when it comes to Skybass, right, the best platformers will have this like flow condition. They also have boss bosses that will eat you. I guess that's something they have too. They will have this sort of flow state where you'll be able to just like, not necessarily just run forward and jump every time, just like your time jumps everything for it. But if you know where you're going and what to do with it, you generally don't have to slow down nearly as much with a lot of stuff, and it can just get into this like almost Zen mode where, you know, you just it looks as if you're just gliding through all of the stuff with it. And there are definitely times, even in Miranda, where getting into that kind of state is where you want to be. 5-8 is a really good example with the stuff there, because if you time the jumps and everything right, it's consistent every single time of it. Oh, he's not going for the... Maybe he doesn't know about the power-up, actually. Not going for the one here. Oh, no! Ah! It's so painful seeing that there, because now we've lost our Kingslayer as well. Ooh. This is where you've got to just really dial in and just try and not feel the tilt too much with it here. This is dangerous. Oh, managed to get away with it. I have seen and experienced the Sky Cheap Chomp in that section, so very, very lucky to get through that one. However, this kind of puts Boss Bass in a relatively good position now, because you have to be above Boss... Oh, that is dangerous. You have to be above Boss Bass. Oh. No! The roller coaster of emotions is real here. How? This is where it's very troublesome now. We are now out of power-ups here. The rest... This is the spot you really don't want to be in. And yep, that is the Sky Cheap Chomp. Unfortunate. Yeah, this is a dire situation with it now. We have no power-ups left with it. I can see why you would just want to try and skip this from here on out. It is not me that you have to blame for this one. Firan definitely rolled this. Oh no. Oh no, this is bad. We have to go up the top now. We have to reset this room. Oh, this is dangerous, because we have to go back. Oh, we can get this as well. Okay. That is such a scary room now. Just being so close to the lava at all points with it. There, no. And I think that might be it. Yeah, really, really close, but unfortunately we have received the forfeit there. Very close though, and realistically, yeah, we were just about there. Those last two stages were incredibly tough. Excellent games to Caio as well though. We cannot fault anyone for the bit here, and honestly, the progress that was made here from what I saw, absolutely phenomenal. Brilliant play all around, and looking forward to seeing more of the games, I think, with that there. So yeah, it was tough. It was a very tough setup, but as you say, we do have other games to play as well. I would need to bring the schedule stuff back up. I mean, my race is going to be starting in, what, 40 minutes from now, so I guess that's going to happen here. I know there are a couple of races that start about an hour after mine. Let me bring the thing up again and see where we are with that. Yeah, so I'm playing Paratrooper on here in about 40 minutes or so. Krista Joy is going to be doing the comms for that. That'll be fantastic to listen back to later. Arcade Riot 91 versus Dust Minion is going to be on Speed Gaming 2 at 6 p.m. Eastern. At the same time on Speed Gaming 3, Danny P Speed and Angelic Jade 14 are also going to be playing. That's going to be a good one to see. And then the next ones after that are on Saturday and Sunday. Late night stuff for that. So, yeah. For now, thank you very much for watching here. We hope this has been an entertaining race to see. And tune in later on for more SMB3 Rando Tony stuff. And of course, across all of the Speed Gaming stuff, be a lot more to see as we go. This has been Gabe McCall, and I will see you all in a bit.